finals. So we have Nathan Christensen, Ryan Steen, Ryan Fowler, Ryland Hoffman, and Benji Husband. Keeping the lifters safe, moving all the weight, and looking awesome in the SBE and the Laco apparel, two of the IPF's primary sponsors. 1 minute 40 until the competition begins.
Saskatchewan. I keep tripping over it. Saskatchewan.
It's not the easiest name to say.
Oh God, I haven't done my names. Jesus. What about him? Iceland. Okay, it's too late. I'm going in 10. Welcome to day 4 of the 2019 IPF Sub-Junior and Junior World Championships. I'm Joe Whiteley. I'm here with Chantal Sutt. She's going to give us her wisdom. She's a Canadian equipped lifter and referee.
Hello, hello.
So this morning we have the 93 kilo class. We are running the juniors and sub-juniors as one flight. And there's just time to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Eleiko, raising the bar with the platform equipment, Uplift, connecting coaches and athletes all over the world, and SB Apparel, providing the best lifting equipment you can possibly buy. So we're here in Regina, Canada. We're guests of the Canadian Powerlifting Union, and we have the meet directors themselves on the platform today, Ryan and Ray Estin. First lifter out is a local boy, Dylan Moldovan. I say local in Canada, that could be 1,500 kilometers away.
It could be, but he is actually from Saskatchewan. He is from Regina, right here, so he didn't have to travel at all.
Oh, that's fantastic. So he's opening his squat at 175 kilos.
Which is very conservative for him. I'm thinking he doesn't have knee wraps on. He's fighting something, I think.
Oh, he doesn't have knee wraps on.
Right.
Yeah, the weight was certainly no trouble from there. He's got a posted PB of 295.
Yeah, and I wrapped his knees at Nationals this year, so I'm wondering if maybe he just wanted to make sure he got one in.
Yeah, possibly. Let's hope he's not got an injury there and he puts a big jump on for his second maybe and gets his coach to wrap his knees. So this is his second World Championships. He was out at South Africa last year.
And I think he really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. So we have Kenshiro Okobo out next for Japan. 210 kilos on the bar. So this is equipped powerlifting. The difference between equipped and raw or classic powerlifting is that these competitors are using a squat suit and knee wraps. So the squat suit is designed to resist you trying to go down a little bit and give you a big pop up out of the hole. Keeps his shape very well. And we've seen this from a few of the Japanese lifters. They stop just above parallel and dip to depth. So that matches his PB at 210 kilos. So just watching that back again. He goes down, 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 stops, and then dips into depth.
His seemed a little more fluid than the ones we saw the other day. Yeah.
Martin Marcik from Czechia. We've got quite a big Czechia team here this week. 2 lifters in the 83s yesterday. Both called Josef, which caused some confusion.
Josef 1 and Josef 2.
Oh, Josef 1 had Josef 2's attempt for a while. We had to sort all that out. But here we go with Marcik, 240 kilos on the bar. His knee wraps look a little bit uneven there, I think. One of them looks like it's shorter revolution. I wonder if he was a bit rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not giving him any trouble though, has it?
Didn't, no.
Fantastic.
And sometimes, you know, if you can't get that last rotation around, or because maybe you just left it a little bit, you just couldn't get it quite tight, maybe the knee wrap unrolled while you were in the middle of it, it's best to just tuck it in and go than it is to fight with it and really lose the whole wrap.
Sure. It certainly didn't bother him that time.
No, easy enough opener.
Mehal Bogal from Canada, another Canadian lifter.
Less local though.
Okay.
He's more about that, distance. He is from Western Canada, but I'm guessing he had to fly here.
Well, he certainly seems quite confident. He's opening at 2:45 with a posted PB of 2:30.
He's got a few years of experience now. 6 years he's listed as competing. He's been around for a bit. So, he's, I think that training's been going well for him. I don't think this should pose him a problem.
He placed 6th at last year's World Championships. So we've just got a little bit of a delay. He's not going to be too happy standing there in his knee wraps, but there's a little bit of contamination, I think, on the bars, so we're just making sure that's completely clean for him. If you've never worn knee wraps, as soon as they're on tightly, you want to get your squat done and get them off.
As fast as you can. But, I sort of joke. You don't really need to feel your feet. You just need to be able to drive through the floor.
Okay, here we go. Miha or Mehar?
Mehar.
Mehar, okay.
I hope so. That's how I've been saying it all along.
Yeah, he got the dip there. I thought he was going to start to come up when he was still too high. But he dipped in quite nicely. I heard the coach shout dip, and he did exactly that.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, he's being coached by Shane Martin, who's Mehar's from BC, and Shane Martin is from Alberta. So we're kind of in the middle here in Saskatchewan, in between. So we're like the third province over, BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan.
Arseny Konkov from Russia. He's in the sub-junior category. He's 18 years old. Coming out for 265 kilos, 585 pounds. I think he's got his rack a little too high there.
Yeah, he looked like he was really close to clipping it.
Quite a fast descent, but the weight certainly gave him no trouble. The depth looked okay.
Yeah, it looked like a very good squat.
Referees agree.
Next weight on about 270 kilos, Ryuko Yoneyama, Japan. Andre Sip from Czechia to follow.
Up next we have Ryuto Yoneyama. Only been competing for 2 years. He's got another couple of years in the junior class. He's 21 years old.
He's moving quite the weight for somebody who's been competing for 2 years too, hey?
Sure, it's his second World Championships. Squatted 220 at last year's competition, and he's opening at 270 this year. The sort of progression you can make as a junior lifter.
It's nice when it's there, hey?
Looking a little bit shaky. Really having to push against the suit. I'm not sure he quite made that.
That was quite the fight, hey?
He did. Oh, fantastic. That must have been just in.
Yeah.
Let's see it again from the side.
Yeah, I don't think it was too deep, hey?
So he was pushing against the suit there. You can see it's really locking up, really trying to stop him. That must have been the very definition of just in.
I think so.
He's going to want to just, mind you, he's going to have more weight on his back next time. It's just going to give him that extra
That's right.
weight to push him down into the hole. Andre Sip, another Czechia lifter. He's in the sub-juniors.
Followed it, 275 kilos, Andre Sip, Czechia.
Bronze medalist early this year at the European Championships.
That's nothing to sniff at. Europeans is a pretty stiff competition.
Oh, absolutely. You can see a lot of the top lifters in these groups are from Russia and the Ukraine and Czechia, so it's a tough fight, the Euros. Obviously, we don't have the Americans and Canadians and Japanese lifters. That looks like a shiny new suit.
Yeah.
Right.
Kept his position very well. The weight came up very nicely. And the referees are happy with the depth.
Next weight about 290 kilos. Daniel Gonzalez, USA. Alexander
Just watching that back again, he doesn't let the weight change his position, keeps his form.
He really, it's sort of the epitome of when we say control the suit, don't let the suit control you. He did a really good job of that.
Daniel Gonzalez for the USA. Zach Cooper sending him out. 290 kilos on the bar.
I'm going to guess he must, that would be Texas on his headband there, hey?
I think you're right.
I don't want to sound like an ignorant Canadian, but I think that would be correct. Whoa, that was a fast spot.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I can see he's competed in the Texas High School Federation. So I think Texas would be a good shout. Just watching that squat back again. He sits quite a long way back. He's quite long femored, isn't he?
But you know what? He's still like, he does have to get a little bit bent over there, but man, he moves that fast.
Sure. And the depth was good. We have Alexander Lancaster up next for Norway.
300 kilos. Alexander Lancaster of Norway.
Very experienced lifter, been lifting for 7 years.
He also squats quite high bar.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? And look at him lock his elbows in underneath there. That's
Yeah,
quite an
wow.
unusual position. It certainly works for him, though. Okay, one of the side referees didn't like the depth. We can just watch that back. Yeah, on this side it looked.
Yeah, you know what? Again, it's
there
one
or
of those
thereabouts,
things.
yeah.
You can sort of see whether you get a 2-to-1 call, right?
Sure. Caleb Lambeth up next.
Bars loaded, 305 kilos, Caleb Lambert, USA.
Won his class at Collegiate Nationals this year.
Henrik Hagen to follow.
He was 6th at the Worlds last year. He's going to look to move that up, because this is his last year as a junior.
Oh yes, he'll be moving up into the Opens next year.
Always a scary move. So here we go. We have 305 kilos on the bar. We've broken through the 300 kilo barrier.
Right. Here you go, Caleb. Go.
Yeah, coach shouts dip, and he dipped right into the hole there.
There
That
we
was
go.
a lovely squat.
More of these just amazing Americans from that collegiate program, hey?
Yeah, it's certainly, they have the high school nationals and the collegiate nationals, and I think that's a great proving ground. Also, we have a lot of the areas like the Texas high school program, so these lifters are starting to lift at very young in their teens, 14 years old.
And you know what? They're just going to continue to come to these events and show how strong of a program they have.
Yeah. So here we have Henrik Hagen, took the silver medal at the Euros this year. Opening with 312.5 kilos. And that looked like a squat from an experienced lifter. Well deserved 3 whites there. Absolutely no drama. Doesn't let the weight deform his form at all.
Picture perfect. Hey, speed was consistent. It was beautiful.
Moises Villon from Ecuador. We've had a few lifters from Ecuador at this competition so far.
It's nice to see it with people from really all over the world, right? I mean, the IPF is all over the world, but travel, of course, gets in the way sometimes for people.
It does, and for some of the countries, they don't have a great junior program. But I think we've got more than 20 countries represented here this week.
That's excellent when you think about the age that we're looking at is 23 and under.
Yeah, and we have the sub-junior class as well, which is up to 18 years old. So we have Villon on the platform with 315 on his back. Such a huge weight to control. It's so hard to walk out in knee wraps. Getting quite high bar, and he did the same thing, didn't he? Locked his elbows forward to lock his back in.
Wow. That was fast up.
And a good lift.
315 remains on the bar.
Very impressive standard here.
Iceland. Noah Johnson to get ready.
The 93s are just getting stronger.
I think the standard across the board goes up every single year.
Absolutely.
Carl Anton Lowe from Iceland, 315 kilos. He's a tall lifter, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Those racks are not quite at maximum. Oh, he nearly knocked them over then. The rack is fixed at the front, but it's always a little bit worrying when you see it rock forward like that.
Even screwed to the ground.
Yeah.
Those screws don't stand much of a chance against 320 kilos.
No, that's quite a wide stance, and I think the weight got a little bit forward of him. He tipped a little bit as he came up. And he didn't quite hit the depth.
Yeah, and I wonder if that was that movement you saw there, right, where he kind of tipped a little forward.
So let's just watch that back. Yeah, I think he just needed another inch.
At the bottom there, it looks like he shifted ever so slightly forward, and then maybe that was why he came forward on his toes. But maybe that was why he cut it. So it didn't look like strength was the issue, though. So hopefully he'll come
he
back.
handled the weight very well. Noah Johnson next from the USA. 325 kilos. He is our reigning world champion. I guess at this point he's our defending world champion. Actually, he was in the 83s last year.
Okay.
I was going to say, because Musienko's our defending 93 kilo champion. So he was the 83 kilo world champion, and he's gone up a weight class. Oh, look at that.
Holy.
That's phenomenal.
That's an easy opener if you've ever seen one.
325 kilos. Well, clearly he's not quite filled out the clutch yet. He's weighed in at 90.93. So he's got some strength to come there. But that was an absolutely brilliant squat. Really efficient, no wasted energy. And here we have Musienko. Reigning. In fact, he's been the 93 kilo world champion for the last 2 years.
Well, and you know, based on his opening attempts he's put in, he's definitely putting up another fight this year. He's not going to give up easily, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely not. He is such an accomplished lifter. He often competes in the open category. Yeah, he was second this year in the European Open.
Wow.
He was second in the open category out in Japan as well. He competed in the world bench. He has got a huge bench. But he's got 330 kilos on his back at the moment.
And 22 years old.
That's so impressive. And you can see why right there. Now, one of the referees wasn't happy with the depth, so let's just see that back.
That concludes round one. Round two. First weight on the bar is 220 kilos for Kenshiro Okubo of Japan.
Well, you know, we've got slightly different angles to the referees. That looks just in to me, but we're not in the best position to judge. And here we go. We're round to the second round of squats now. Kenshiro Okubo. This is his first year of competing. He's 17 years old.
220 kilos.
Coming out for 220 kilos. $10-kilo jump. He's looking very relaxed on the platform there, isn't he?
You know, for somebody who's only been competing for a year, he doesn't look like it's rattling him too much to be at Worlds, does it?
Not at all. Looking very composed. bouncing about a little bit. You need to be careful that the weight doesn't whip around and get away from you. Stops, dips into depth. I think he tipped a tiny bit there, but certainly the weight was no issue.
Still moved relatively well, and you know, some of that you maybe get away with when it's just light enough, right? And he's obviously put on some strength here, because that 210 was his previous personal best, said.
And he has smashed through that.
And it looked easy.
So here's Dylan. He's put on 50 kilos, but he came out without knee wraps, didn't he?
He did. Still well below his personal best.
So I wonder if he's going to have his knees wrapped this time. I hope so, with the 50 kilo jump. Tiny bit late to the platform.
I wonder. Oh, it looks like he's there. Okay, I was wondering if maybe he was timing out, if something was going on, but looks like he is over there.
I don't think they realise the clock's ticking. I can see the coach. He's...
I'm not sure what's going on here.
So I think Dylan's taking a break from this one.
But he's got wraps around his knees.
10 seconds to go. Mihal Bogal will be next out with 255.
Huh. Okay. So I guess if a lifter wasn't going to come out for another attempt, you know what he's done? He's given his teammate a bigger rest.
Exactly, and so, which is pretty common. It's, again, in some of these big flights, it's maybe not as necessary, but, you know, going back to sort of back when equipped was all there was, it was really customary, especially when, you know, there wasn't that many lifters.
Sure, so you wouldn't scratch because that would give your all the other competitors less time to recover.
Exactly.
But he's put in the weight that he put in, made sure that it was his teammates that got the extra rest.
Let's go, Mayor. Come on, 10%. Let's go.
Yeah!
So here's Mehar, taking a 10 kilo jump, 255 kilos on the bar.
Right! Up! Elbows! Right! Take it! Good, good.
Okay, he got a red light for depth from the centre referee, but the other referees are happy. This is why we have 3 referees. Everyone gets a different view. Looks like he's relying on his coach there to let him know when he's hit the required depth.
I sort of joke, I just go down until my vision starts to tunnel and somebody yells up.
Marcik next up for Czechia. This is his first international. And it's a nerve-wracking thing to walk out onto this platform. All the cameras and lights, and not least, IPF referees. He's got up 20 kilos, must be quite confident. A little bit wobbly on the descent. He's controlling it though. You know what? I think coach was still calling down.
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah. Needs to keep his ears open. Coach was still saying down, and he started coming up.
280 kilos, that's where about Arseny Konkov of Russia.
He looked like he was a little unsteady, maybe a little unsettled, so I wonder if he just got a little scared at the bottom and came up and hoped for the best.
I think so. I think he was a bit nervous with the weight. As you say, he was shaking a little bit. It was getting away from him. Konkov next for Russia. Another sub-junior lifter. Gone up 15 kilos to 280. Oh, here he is. I was just starting to think he wasn't coming out, and he pops out like he's been fired from a cannon. Controls the top part and then sinks quite quickly, really, into depth. But
It's got a Yeah, and a really deep squat for equipped. You know, equipped, it's pretty common to see like that just in.
Yeah.
And he's not leaving the judges to guess. He is making sure they know depth will not be the call they'll make for him.
Yeah, you don't want to leave it up to the referee. You want to put it absolutely beyond doubt. And as you say, you're fighting the knee ups, you're fighting your suit, both of which are trying to keep you upright. Ryuta Yoneyama next. 285 kilos. This is a 10 kilo PB. It's interesting how the styles change as we go up through the weight classes. We're starting to see wider grips, not seeing quite so many of those really tight hand positions on the bar. He's struggling against the suit, isn't he? And he's come up when coach was still shouting down.
Yeah, it looked like he maybe cut it from our view here. Yeah, and
2-1, but in a bad way. 2 red lights, one white. And you see the struggle he's having there to fight against the suit, and he never quite conquers it. If you've never worn a squat suit and knee wraps, one of the things you're fighting is the pain.
it is, and you know, you definitely, as you're getting used to it, and some of these young guys have not been competing that long.
Yeah.
So they're still probably learning and getting accustomed to that, and they do have a bit of a bite to them, I would say.
So we have quite a new lifter on the platform right now, 17 years old, only in his first year of competing. He's taking 290 kilos for his second squat.
That is one strong 17-year-old.
Absolutely. Looking a tiny bit shaky as he starts his descent. And you know, he had to work for it. It looked like a good squat though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go up too much more though. He went up 15 kilos from his opener. I'd say maybe only another 5. Yeah, depth is good.
Yeah, it was, you know, he definitely had to work. See what kind of a grind that kid's got, I guess, hey?
Yeah. So Daniel Gonzalez, he's gone up 17.5 kilos. Again, in his first year of competing, 18 years old. This will put him into gold medal position in the sub-junior squad.
Nice and easy. Nice. Right.
He folded over at the bottom there. He just let the weight get ahead of him, and that's a huge weight to try and bring back once the centre of gravity goes forward. And you just saw Zach Cooper, the coach there, mime it to him.
Yeah.
And we'll see as he gets to the bottom, folds over, and there's no way he's keeping up with that. But we've got a great platform crew there, kept him safe. And if he can keep his form, keep his position, that might go next time.
Yeah, because 290 moved really, really well for him. Yeah.
So here we go, Alexander Lancaster from Norway. The rack looks a little wonky there. That's because he's elected to have one rack in. $310 kilos on the bar. His PB is 315.
Right.
You saw that again. He locks his elbows forward. Does a really nice high bar squat. Has to work through that sticking point though.
3 white lights and a good lift. Alexander, 310.
When we talk about high bar or low bar, we're talking about where the bar sits on the shoulders. High bar sits on top of the traps, and low bar sits on top of below the traps on top of the delts.
Followed at 315 kilos, Caleb Lambert, USA.
And I wonder if would you agree that it seems to be that we don't see as much high bar squatting in powerlifting. I think because it's far more of like a posterior dominant movement, but it's especially in equipped, we see even less high bar than compared to raw.
My high bar squat is 40 kilos below my low bar. I move so much more weight low bar.
Yeah, I'm the same, very much. I don't think I've ever even tried to squat equipped low bar, probably since I learned to squat low bar.
So we have Caleb Lambert on the platform right now. Another lifter who has benefited from the Texas High School program. Been competing for 7 years. And that looks heavy.
I'm
but
surprised.
Not in doubt.
Yeah.
2-1.
There was a half second there where I thought this might go badly, and he saved
It
it.
did look like he was getting away from him, didn't it? On the descent, as we watched that back.
Henrik Hagen to follow.
So he's, there it was. There was the wobble. He did well to control that. I think that's the experience in the equipment. So the Texas High School program is all single ply, is all equipped. So these lifters are starting very young, getting a lot of experience in the kit. Loewe next from Iceland. He missed this. In fact, he missed 315 for his opener. He's gone up to 320.
I'm going to guess that the coach knows that the weight isn't the problem. It was a matter of being able to push into the gear.
And that extra 5 kilos might just give him a little bit extra to push. Well, coach set up. All you can do is what your coach says. Centre referee didn't like the depth, but the side referees were happy. So 2-1, good lift. And that puts him straight up into 3rd place in the squat. Henrik Hagen up next for 325. It's a huge weight for junior lifters.
Bar is loaded. 325 kilos. Henrik Hagen, Norway.
The 93 opens are exciting to watch, and these juniors, as they move up, they're going to make it even better.
Absolutely. Well, Musienko moves up. Well, he's already competing open a lot of the time.
Exactly.
And he's already, as a junior, he's already hitting the podium in the open categories. So
it tells you just that, like you talked about, the caliber of lifting.
That's a very accomplished squat.
So beautiful.
I think he's got a lot more there. We're going to see him take a decent jump for his 3rd.
Please load the bar to 330 kilos.
Nice and deep. Came up no trouble. There's nothing to pick at all with that squat. Villon from Ecuador, coming out for 330, 730 pounds. Of course, for the coaches, it's very difficult to time exactly how long it's going to take you to wrap the knees. You don't want your lifter standing there for ages with their knees wrapped, but you do want to get them to the platform as quickly as you can.
Yeah, you don't want to be wasting time. You think about, because you only have that minute from the time the bar is loaded to get that start command. And you got to get under it, get settled, make sure you're tight, get those knees locked, right?
Yeah,
there's a lot of steps.
He's under pressure now. There's only 20 seconds left, which is enough time to do a squat. But, you know, you do occasionally get called to re-rack the bar, and there's no time for that.
Yeah, so here's hoping he can get settled and
Steps
steady.
Out. We can hear it ticking down. He has got the command with 5 seconds to go. Very careful and controlled. Well, it certainly didn't throw him,
That
did
was
it?
great. Yeah.
3 white lights and a good lift.
3 white lights.
330 kilos.
What did he have? 5 seconds to go? When he
Oh, yeah.
started that lift?
Maybe 7 if we were being generous there. Yeah, that was really good to see that it didn't really rattle him.
Last 2 lifts in round 2.
Elbows did come into contact with the knees there, I think, but the rule is that it's only a red light if they rest on the knees and support in such a way to give you an advantage, which wasn't the case there.
Didn't look like it, no.
USA.
Noah Johnson, first year in the juniors. Sub-junior 83 kilo world champion last year. So he's not only gone up an age class, he's gone up a weight class.
And he's still got room to grow into this weight class a little bit too.
Absolutely, he's got another 4 years in the class and another few kilos to grow.
What? Yep.
Well, you know, he had to work for it. He had to put some effort into it, but it was a beautiful squat.
Still looks like he's got some room.
Yeah. That puts him up to gold medal position for the moment. You know, he's really taking the fight to Musienko.
Dylan Moldovan to get ready as we're moving to round 3 after this lift.
You wouldn't expect Musienko really to be challenged at that level. He's so dominant, but Johnson is taking the fight to him.
Well, he's not going to give it to him, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Here's Musienko. He's gone up 22.5 kilos.
Musienko, Ukraine.
Very composed, as you would expect from a lifter of his caliber. 777 pounds on the bar.
This looks like it's well above his personal best he's listed.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, listed as 335.
But that 330 sure moved like an opener and not like something that was a personal best.
I think he's taken a bit of license with his squat PB there. I can see that he squatted 357.5 at the Euros this year. So he's a little bit below that. Oh, and he's really had to work for it.
See what they say. Oh, yeah.
Oh, 2-1. Well, I wonder if he's a little bit rattled. Let's just watch that again. He goes down, keeps his back position very well, but folds just a tiny bit in the hole. And I wonder if that's why he had a bit of difficulty coming up.
Yeah, he really had to fight to keep position, hey? Yeah.
But he is now comfortably in gold medal position in the squat as we go into the third round. Dylan Moldovan, he didn't come out for his second. He came out for his first without knee wraps. Did not come out for his second. Are we expecting him for his third, do you think?
I'm going to guess he's fighting an injury. He lives only 40 minutes away from where I live over in Moose Jaw, but, you know, we're a big team and we don't always get to talk to all of the people that are in Saskatchewan powerlifting. I mean, even 225 would be well below his personal best, so I'm guessing he's fighting something and opting to, you know, as we sort of say, live to lift another day.
Sure.
I'm thinking he's just done this.
As you say, he's not had to travel a long way. Might as well come along and get a lift in. He did. He lifted 175 with a posted PB of 295. So with 20 seconds on the clock, just time to thank our local sponsors, Doubletree by Hilton, Regina Hotel Association, Pro AV, City of Regina, Tourism Saskatchewan, Inner Strength Products, Olympia in Depth, Sask Energy and LiveSaw. Without these sponsors, we wouldn't be able to put these competitions on, and so we are very grateful. Dylan Moldovan timed out, so we now move on to Kenshiro Okobu.
Martin Marsick to follow.
Japanese lifter coming out for his first international, and this will be a 20 kilo PB.
Be a nice way to finish up your squats at your worlds, wouldn't it?
Of course, with equipped lifting, it's not just if the training's gone well, you maybe you've moved into a tighter suit. At the Euro bench in 2017, I got a 20 kilo PB on my bench because I'd gone down one size in my suit.
No, it doesn't hurt, though. That being, you say that, you still had to learn to use it, and you still had to learn to control it. So it's not quite as easy as just tighten it up. That's for darn sure, hey?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And that's a lovely squat.
That was great.
No, you absolutely cannot just whip a shirt on or a squat suit on and get a huge lift.
But when you learn to do it, it is sweet, and it definitely helps.
Absolutely. And Okubu certainly has learned to use that suit, walking away with a 20-kilo personal best. Marta Marsic now for Czechia. He missed this last time out. This is 260 kilos.
What?
Now, I'm very glad he went a bit deeper after the coach shouted up, because I think he would have. Yeah,
I had the same thought as you.
yeah, the coach shouted up, and I thought, no.
Yeah.
So, but the lifter knew to go down a little bit further. There we go. We saw him dip into depth there. He got a red light from the side we're looking at there, and I can see that it looks a little bit borderline. But it's people aren't machines; they're a bit asymmetrical. So sometimes you dip a bit deeper into one side of the hip. Mehar having a great day. He's already put 25 kilos on his PB. Would like to make that 32.5.
Wow, that's a really, really good squat day for him.
Let's go!
Come on, buddy, let's go.
Getting a lot of advice from the crowd.
Right.
Looked good from our view.
It really did. I love it when the lifters give themselves a nice cheer.
Yeah.
So it looked like he pressed down into depth there, but he was waiting for his coach to say up. So we can see him. He presses down, thinks, "Have I got it? Have I got it?" Oh, a little bit more.
And it is, it's tough as a coach when you got these big guys on the side and you got 5 big spotters around. I mean, you want them there because you want your lifter safe, but it is hard to
see past them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryuta Yoneyama next.
Loaded, 205 kilos.
Missed 285 on his second attempt. He's going to have another crack at it now. Quite a new lifter at his second international. Gone up a weight class, competed in the 83s last year.
Yeah, he's another one who looks like he's got, still some room to grow into this body weight too, or into this weight class.
Yeah, you're right. He's weighed in at 90.4.
Oh.
Dear me, that was a good save from the spotters there. And he started coming up while the coach was still shouting down. I think he wouldn't have got the lift even if he hadn't tipped over. He's got quite a lot of knee wrap left over on one side there.
Yeah, and definitely our view, yeah.
He pushed his knees forward, didn't he?
Yeah. Which could have caused him to not be able to get back far enough to get depth, but also it's hard to save.
But, he's got a squat in.
And that's really what matters. Get one on the board, and at least you can keep going.
Sure, and he opened it with a 5 kilo PB, so he's not had a terrible day. Arsenij Konkov next. Sub-junior lifter. Went up 15 kilos for his second, gone up another 10. In bronze medal position in squat. This won't move him up. Yeah, he's looking fired up for this. Sometimes you can be a little bit too fired up and make technical mistakes.
Yeah, I'm one of those lifters that I don't want to be too fired up because I don't stay tight. I don't, I'm not focused.
That was a great third lift.
He is obviously not like me. He can get a little fired up and still lift.
He came out with brought a bit of fire to the platform, but kept his technique. Didn't make any mistakes. And maybe got a tiny bit out of shape just at the bottom, but the weight was certainly no problem for him. I'd say next time out we'll see even bigger squats from that lifter. He took the bronze medal in squat in the sub-junior category. And here we have the lifter that is currently in gold medal position in the subs, Andre Sip. Took a 15 kilo jump and now a 10 kilo jump, but his second looked very good.
Talk about getting fired up. He is not leaving it behind. He's making sure he brings everything he's got to this.
Oh, he's tipped a little bit. Yeah, take it off him. That was a shame. I think he lost that on the descent. Just let the weight get a little bit forward, and that's so hard to bring it back with 300 kilos on your back.
5 kilos next weight on the bar. Daniel Gonzalez, USA.
There it went. He just lost it there, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just couldn't fight to keep it in position at that point, and it happens when you get to that max effort.
So, Daniel Gonzalez, he missed this on his last attempt, but this will move him up from silver to gold. He is on the squat podium, but it's up to him now whether he gets the gold or the silver. 18 years old, so much pressure on these young lifters.
What? Go!
Wow, that was superb.
That looked great. Yeah,
307.5 kilos, gold medal in squat, and you know what? I think he could have put 10 kilos on there.
I know, right? And I wonder if that was the plan. If he, because he has the strength.
Because he repeated his second attempt.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I have fallen over on my squat before, and it's a little unsettling to come back and have to get back out there.
Oh, absolutely.
So the fact that he did it at 18,
wow, that was,
showing me
that
how.
Was great. So we're into the junior category now. Alexander Lancaster from Norway. Travelled a long way to be here, we've got 7 hours difference. And the time difference is really it has a big impact on you. Because for all these lifters, it's like 7:45 in the evening now, and it's hard to get your sleep patterns right when you travel over. 320 kilos on the bar. This will move him up to 4th place. I think he may have been a little conservative on depth there. 2 to 1. We're watching this back from the side that he got a red light for, and I think that's right. On this side, it looked just about parallel.
I think his first two were a little bit deeper. So again, as a ref, you're automatically comparing him to his previous squats as well. And so when it's a little bit higher, you see it and you judge what you see every single rep. But
okay, here we have Caleb. He took a 10 kilo jump and now he's taking another 7.5. This will move him up a couple of places. Not quite in the medal category.
What? Go, Caleb!
Yeah, he had to put a bit of effort in to take it through the sticking point, but he did a great job there.
And that one was much less scary than the last one.
Absolutely.
You know what? Might not be medals, but top 6 in this stacked class is nothing to scoff at, that's for sure.
Absolutely. He was 6th place man last year. He may be able to move himself up a couple of places by the end of the competition. Carl Loewe from Iceland. Had a bit of difficulty, missed his first squat, took 320 for his second, coming out for 332.5. This will give him temporarily or provisionally give him the bronze medal in squat. Using a thumbless grip, that's quite legal on the squats, but you can't do that on the bench. No, that looked high to me.
Yeah,
I mean, he brought the weights up nicely.
Yeah, and his legs make it hard, I think, from our view. Yeah.
2-1, he got a red light from the side we're watching from.
He got deep enough to make his competitors respond. So now he gets to sit and wait to see if they take the bronze medal back from him.
So the first man to attempt to do that is Henrik Hagen. This will be a 5 kilo PB for him, and he will snatch the bronze away from the Icelandic lifter.
Oh, and his first 2 squats were just gorgeous.
He's got up 7.5. And it's heavy. He's had to fight, but it was never in any doubt.
His positioning through a squat is something to be marveled. Wow.
Textbook. I think that was a really well judged third attempt.
Yeah, you
Wouldn't
know,
have got away with much more.
I don't think so. Nope.
Moises Villon from Ecuador. Now he is currently sitting in 5th place. He took a 15 kilo jump, he's taken another 15 kilo jump, and this will give him the silver medal and knock Hagen down to 4th.
They are fighting for the podium in the squats here, hey? Well, Musienko isn't, but...
Yeah, he's a little way up the road.
He's sitting pretty.
Villon, he's already got a 10 kilo PB. He would like a 25 kilo PB. Locks his back in place. Careful, careful descent. Takes it to depth and brings it up a treat.
And there we go again.
Fantastic. That gives him the silver medal. That knocks Hagen out of the squat medals. But it's not over yet.
Musienko to follow. Noah Johnson currently in bronze medal position after that last lift, coming out to take back that silver, ladies and gentlemen.
We have Noah Johnson out next. No stranger to the world stage.
Bar is loaded. 347.5 kilos, Noah Johnson, USA.
Coming out for a 7.5 kilo PB. 347.5 kilos. 766 pounds.
Incredible weights.
Yeah, 19 years old. He is on the squat podium. He's not going to catch the Ukrainian lifter. But he might just move up a step.
What?
Wow.
Absolutely superb. We're getting a masterclass in equipped squatting here today. That puts him into silver medal position. Vilon now in bronze medal position. And here we have the gold medal lifter, Musienko. A familiar face.
Already has squat gold. This is about building a total for Musienko.
This is incredible weight, 370 kilos.
And look at the jumps he's taken.
I know, 22 years old, 93 kilo body weight, and this kid is squatting 370 kilos.
Took a 22.5 kilo jump, now he's taken a 17.5 kilo jump. He's got the gold medal. His projected total is a long way ahead of the nearest rival. So he's having his own competition to some extent here. This is a huge squat. I know he's got a huge bench as well. So much weight on the back there. Very hard on the elbows, that low bar squat position. You're allowed wrist wraps, but not elbow sleeves. He had a bit of a wobble there. He's pushing.
Oh,
that
man.
was so hard.
I hope he was in there.
I hope he hit depth.
Yes.
He got it. You could have heard a pin drop there while everyone waited for the referee's decision.
Man.
But that is 370 kilos for Musienko, the lifter from Ukraine. If we watch that back, he must have been just in, and he has to fight all the way up. Such grit and determination to bring that up.
When you see somebody fight like that, the last thing you want to see is 2 red lights. I'm so glad he got that.
Me too. We're going to take a 20-minute break now. I think we're taking a 20-minute break now, and we are back for bench. And we are back for bench press. We are on day 4 of the World IPF Powerlifting Junior Championships. We're here in Regina, Canada, and we have the 93 kilo junior and sub-junior men coming out to bench. First up, Kenshiro Okobu. He's coming out for 110 kilos.
Bar is loaded. 110 kilos, Kenshiro Okubo of Japan. Martin Barsic to get ready.
So for you, those of you not familiar with equipped powerlifting, it's equipped benching is very different to raw benching. He's wearing a bench shirt there that looks like a super katana. And the bench shirt is very tight around the arms, has a very stiff chest plate, and the trick is to fight against the resistance of the shirt to get the bar to the chest, and then it will help you up off the chest. Now the lifter there had to replace the bar. I think he had his hands in the wrong place. The maximum width grip you can take is to cover the rings. Oh, he's got his hand open.
His hand is open. Yeah.
He has to grip the bar.
Time out, no lift, no lift.
The rule says the fingers must be wrapped around the bar, and his hand was open. So now that's unusual at this level. I wonder if he has some kind of injury.
That's what I was wondering. I mean, he's only got a year of competition experience, but obviously he's done enough meets to get himself to a world event. So I'm wondering if maybe there's something going on with his hand that he's having a hard time wrapping it around the bar.
So we do see sometimes Japanese grip, which is somewhat controversial. It's not legal in the IPF, where the bar sits kind of sideways in the hands and the fingertips rest on the top. But this was something different. This was an entirely open hand. We have Martin Marsic on the platform right now, opening his bench with 150 kilos. You can see he's just having difficulty getting the bar down to his chest. Got a nice pop off the chest, but do you think the bar dipped then?
I'm not sure. With the angle we had, yeah, it looks like they said it dipped. You could see he kind of did this stepwise thing up, which is fine as long as you don't let the bar come back down during those steps.
Yeah.
But it looks like refs said he did.
Yeah, as you say, from the angle we had, it wasn't very clear, but he got yellow.
Oh, yeah, you can see it there in the replay.
Andrei Sip, also from Czechia, also taking 150 kilos. The only difference here is he's a sub-junior lifter. He's 17 years old. Gets the start command, brings the bar down to the chest, and presses it out nicely. That was a lovely lift.
There, we finally have one on the board.
Yeah, third lift out, and the first successful one. So he keeps his head and his shoulders and his butt planted on the bench, and his feet flat on the floor. We have the butt light in evidence today, which shines a light underneath where the lifter is on the bench, so that if the bum does come up, it's very obvious indeed. Ryuto Yoniyama just taking a moment to explain there to Ryan Stinn exactly what he wants from his handoff. Ryan has handed out many equipped benches, but he's not a mind reader. Always good to let them know what you want. Slightly difficult touch.
Looked like a good press, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, looked really good.
Counterintuitively, a little bit more weight on the bar might let him get the touch a little bit easier, and it might actually come up a bit better.
Yeah, it's one of those things in equipped lifting that that always seems a little bit, counterintuitive to a lot of people. But that extra weight, you don't have to fight so hard.
Yeah, exactly.
You save the energy going down, and you can then expend it on the up.
Equipped lifters always joke that the answer is always to put more weight on the bar. Here we have Daniel Gonzalez from the United States. 170 kilos on the bar, 375 pounds. Trying to translate the metric for our Americans who don't speak kilos. Is it kilos or pounds in Canada?
Well, technically we use kilos, so we're, but colloquially we've never really changed in a lot of ways. So Canadians still very much as a whole speak in pounds.
Sure.
We're very influenced by the US, yeah.
So that was Daniel Gonzalez, a good press. If we just watch that back again. Stayed nice and patient, kept his chest up, tucked in, kept his elbows underneath the bar, so when he got the touch and the press command, it came up really nicely.
Yeah, he kept his arms in really good position. So yes, while we speak in pounds, our road signs are in kilometers per hour, so that does not mean 110 miles per hour.
Okay.
You would get a ticket, a pretty big one at that.
So here we have Noah Johnson. He looks fairly relaxed. He's having a bit of a laugh as he lies on the bench there. 175 kilos on the bar. I mean, he was way out ahead in the squat, wasn't he? But slightly smaller bench than some of the other lifters in his category. And I think that's due to it's his first year in the juniors. He hasn't filled out the weight class yet. He's come up from the 83s. But that was a nice lift.
And he's relatively tall, I think, compared to a lot of the competitors, right? And so you can't ignore that levers do make a difference in the lifts, right?
Arseniy Konkov from Russia, coming out for 180. He took the bronze medal in squat, but he's a fair way ahead of his rivals in bench. And this is what I like about powerlifting, you know, someone that's got a huge squat or maybe has the mechanical advantage in deadlift, long arms. Long arms will do you great service in deadlift, but you don't want that for bench. So, you know, with the 3 lifts, it all comes around. Looked like a good lift for Konkov.
Yeah, it looked very, very good.
3 white lights and a good lift at 180 for Arseniy Konkov of Russia. Next up.
So that puts him up into second place overall, gold medal position on bench. Yes, he had relatively long arms, but he kept his arms in line. Didn't allow the weight to come forward of his elbows. Here's Dylan. Dylan only took 1 squat, and he had a squat suit on but no knee wraps. He didn't come out for his other squats. We think he may be injured, especially as he's benching more than he squatted.
Yeah.
Not the usual state of affairs. Okay, that was a great press. He looked to be moving a little bit on the bench. Hopefully nothing. He got 1 red light. Needs to be careful.
I'm wondering if that butt came up and he just got lucky on the one side, maybe.
So he's not touching down with much of his bum anyway, is he? So let's see on the press.
See, we can't see because that leg's in the way.
Yeah, hard to see because all lifters have a different position, so you can never set up a light perfectly for every single lifter.
Exactly.
We have the next Canadian lifter out now, Mehar Bogal, 200 kilos on the bar.
I know Mehar's been putting a lot of work into his bench.
He must have been, because it says here his PB is 165 and he's come out for 200.
Yeah, I think he still is. He at least was for a long time working with Blaine Sumner. And I believe he still may be working with Blaine. So you're going to see the classic wide foot stance here that Blaine often tries to get his athletes to master.
Now he's got a tight shirt on as well, isn't he? Struggling for the touch there.
Something else that Blaine really pushes is learning to really maximize your gear.
Sure. By gear, in this context, we mean equipment. So you've got a blue card and a yellow card. Blue card is generally a downward movement of the bar. if we watch the press out, it looks like his bum may have come off the bench as well. So that's a no lift. And I did think that when I saw that wide foot position, it looked like his bum was only hovering on the bench anyway. It's so hard to keep it down.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a foot position I've tried, but a lady I did some work with in the past wondered if the way your hips sit in your hip sockets will make a difference as to where your foot position can be.
It's not just a case of how long your limbs are or how long your femurs are. The hip insertion is different for everyone too.
Absolutely. So I find that wide foot position not really beneficial for me. But again, you know, if you can get it, you get that nice strong base. You can drive back towards the bench. It could really work for you.
Like you, I've tried that. It gave me cramp.
Oh,
cramp in the hip. Didn't
that's
like that
not
at
what
all.
you want.
So we have Caleb Lambert on the platform right now.
Back!
That's a little bit harder than you'd want your opener to be.
I would think so. Hopefully he gets it. He's Lucy's on the board.
3 white lights. That's all that counts. No points for style in powerlifting. Again, his bum's hovering there. Needs to be careful that doesn't come up. Leg drive is a wonderful thing, but you do run the risk of a change in elected position. Alexander Lancaster up next, 210 kilos. Just explaining exactly where he wants the bar to end up. Has the low cut super katana. Must admit, that's my shirt of choice.
It's a very, very popular shirt these days.
It is.
I am still trying to make mine work.
That'll look a good press for Alexander.
3 white lights and a good leg for Alexander Lancaster of Norway at 210 kilos. 220 kilos next weight on the bar.
It flattens him out a little bit as he descends there.
Moises Fillon of Ecuador.
By the way, it didn't give him too much trouble.
Maybe just light enough that even when things don't go perfectly, still can press it out.
Karl Loewe from Iceland coming out for 220 kilos. This matches his current PB. Having a nice grunt and a growl to himself as he comes out there. Sounding a bit like a naturally aspirated 12-cylinder. Settling himself on the bench there. Stays patient to get that touch. Oh no, no, it's just too heavy. Now I wonder what's going on there. He has opened on a PB, which is a risky endeavour. So let's just see exactly what. Oh, it does flatten him out a little bit.
Oh yeah, it looks like he really almost slid, doesn't it?
Yep, and his bum was up and down as well. Well, you know, he could just adjust the shirt, come out again. There's every chance that's going to go.
That's one of the things in equipped lifting is that you do find sometimes if the equipment, I guess, it's not sitting just right, or if something goes a little bit off, it can look, you can fail it like that.
Sure.
Turn around and come out and smoke it like an opener again, right?
Absolutely.
It's one of the things I love about equipped lifting. It's one of the things that makes it exciting.
Moises Fillon from Ecuador, 225 kilos on the bar. But equally, I've moaned at my coach that it's not on right, it's not on right, it doesn't feel right, and then got a PB in it. So
fair enough, yeah.
it really is not as simple as just whipping a shirt over your head and pressing a huge weight. These are tricksy pieces of equipment. Textbook.
Wow.
Look at that. He kept his line He fought against the shirt. The shirt didn't manage to boss him about at all. He took charge, and he got a brilliant press as a result.
From Norway, Kristiantin Musienko will follow Henrik. Bar is loaded, 232.5 kilos, Henrik Hagen of Norway.
Here's Henrik Hagen. 232.5 kilos. We're already in some quite big weights here. Looks like a huge arch there.
Yeah, he's got that chest really high.
That's a low touch point.
That was great.
Yeah. I wonder if that's why he didn't have a belt on.
You
You should see that from the side.
Yeah,
That's a huge arch.
And you know, I wonder if a belt for him impedes that ability to arch like
Yeah,
that.
maybe so. We do see a lot of lifters using the thinner bench belt for that reason. I can't bench without a belt. My shirt flies north at a rate of knots. That's what happens to me.
Yeah, that's the one risk you sort of take not wearing a belt, but obviously he maybe his range of motion's small enough that he can get away with it. Whatever. He's got a great bench press.
So, we have Musienko coming out for 310 kilos for his opener.
This is an incredible opener, especially for a 93 kilo junior.
Well, he actually holds the open world record in the 3-lift bench,
Yeah.
and we're not far away from it, 315.5.
And so I'm gonna bet that if he smokes this, it's
We'll
not
see
gonna.
316.
Yeah, it's not gonna take him more than half a second to put that number in.
Now he's using a variant of the Japanese grip there. You can see it sitting sideways in his hand.
Whoa!
Well, it was certainly heavy, but it didn't give him much difficulty, did it?
That was incredible.
We're going to see Steve Austin's 316 next, I
I'm
think.
gonna guess.
That's a huge arch as well. Look how high his chest is.
He's really got an efficient bench press, doesn't
He has. He got a lot of leg drive there, you could see, but no chance for his bum coming
No.
up.
He's obviously pushing those legs in the right direction, keeping that chest way up. His range of motion is small.
Fantastic. So he was pushing 316? No, 320.
Oh yeah, why? Why go 316?
Why just chip the world
That's right.
record when you can smash it? Let's hope that was a wise move.
Either way, it's his world record, I guess.
Absolutely. So we are around to the second round of bench press now. We have Kenshiro Okobo on the platform from Japan. He missed this for his opener.
Let's hope he can fix that hand issue, whatever was going on for him. And
Oh, that's right. He
can-
didn't actually manage to get the start command, did he? He had his hand open.
so I'm hoping it's not an injury. Maybe it was just.
Well, the thing I didn't understand is he took the bar with his hand closed and then opened it. So, yeah, he's got his hand closed now.
Yeah.
That was super easy.
Okay. Excellent.
You know, he might put 20 kilos on that for his next attempt.
Absolutely. It looked really good.
Such a shame to throw away his first attempt, though.
It's frustrating, hey, because you see, you know, he's got a lot left there. It would have been nice
Yeah.
to see him be able to push it today.
So we have our next lifter coming out for 150 kilos. Again, he missed this for his opener. That's not too unusual in equipped bench, really.
I've been there. It's not a comfortable feeling, but it is, you're right, it's not unusual. I mean, you've got some experience in benching in a shirt.
I don't think my experience is typical, really. I tended to go 3 for 3.
Well,
I had a very short career, though. I think that's what it was.
you're going to have to get back out there and see if you can keep that up.
There we go. That's a
Looks
great
much better.
press. 3 white lights. So he has the very thin bench belt there.
Bars loaded, 160 kilos, Andrei Sip, Czechia.
So that was a good lift. So he's on the board. Andre Sip out next. He is looking for 160 kilos. Just over 350 pounds. He's put 10 kilos on his opener. Gets the start command from centre referee Johnny Graham. Yeah, that's a nice second attempt. Yeah. A little bit of effort, but nothing to worry about, and some in the tank left for a third attempt.
Daniel Gonzalez to get ready.
Ryuta Yoneyama, 170. This matches his current PB. Shot was quite high on him. Yeah, that was nice. You know, I don't think the shirt is jacked down too much. I think he's a little bit of adjustment. I think he's probably got another 10 kilos there.
175 kilos next weight on the bar. Daniel Gonzalez, USA.
Yeah, he might just be, you know, gaining some experience in that shirt, and needs to, you know, the nice thing about equipment is that just some little tweaks as you get a little more efficient and a little bit better in it, you can make those tweaks and make a shirt last sort of longer and get more life out of it and still benefit from it more with some of those little changes.
Sure. We have Daniel Gonzalez, sub-junior, 175, 385 pounds.
Down. Finish. Back.
You can see he wears his shirt quite a bit lower than our last
that
lifter,
was
hey?
Nice. Yeah, you can see it's jacked down a little bit. He's getting a bit of cleavage. He stayed patient with it. He didn't let the bar path deviate. That last inch is so crucial to keep your line.
It's the tendency to want to rush it at the bottom there and let it come down, and you just can't. At that point, you just need to be patient.
Yep. Key virtue for an equipped lifter. Noah Johnson, looking for 185. That's 408 pounds. You can see there where his squat suit bit him, or possibly his knee wraps down there actually.
Down. Back.
Very similar to the other American
Absolutely.
lifter. Very similar style.
3 white lights and a good lifter, 185 for Noah Johnson, 190 kilos next weight on the bar. Arseny Konkov of Russia.
Next up we have the Russian sub-junior lifter, Konkov.
Bars loaded, 190 kilos. Arseny Konkov, Russia.
This matches his current PB.
His opener was beautiful, so let's see if he can duplicate it with 10 kilos more.
Sure, he's in gold medal position. He needs this, though, to protect that gold medal against Gonzalez, who's looking so strong in the shirt. That was lovely. I don't see anything wrong with that, and I think he's got a fair bit left in the tank.
Definitely looks like it, doesn't it?
190 kilos for Konkov. 200 kilos next weight on the bar.
I think he's got a very good arm position there, doesn't overtuck. Gets some leg drive, maintains his position on the bench.
200 kilos, Mehar Bogal, Canada.
Mehar is, his bum came up, didn't it?
There was a couple of things. I think he got a 2 and a 3.
As well, yeah.
Yeah. So here's hoping he can, whatever went wrong there with the shirt and with the position, he can tweak it and get this on the
I
board.
remember he had that very wide foot position. And it's a 35 kilo PB for him, which is, you know, very ambitious, really.
I'm going to guess that based, you know, when we look at the shirts, we're talking about the different shirts and the different styles and stuff. My bet is that 165, he wouldn't be able to get it to his chest with this shirt.
No.
Right.
That looked
looks
better.
much better. Wasn't easy.
Nope.
Certainly had to work for it.
Green light,
Green light,
Yeah.
and he's happy with that.
But I don't blame him for being tentative, right? I mean, I've missed my opener on bench, and you know, I've done it in the other list too. And you're a little more tentative on your second
It's
then.
nerve-wracking. I've missed my first squat more times than I care to remember.
Oh,
And it is nerve-wracking going out for your second.
it is, and you just play it a little safer, you know.
Here's Dylan. Local lifter. I'm finally saying a local lifter, and he's from this province.
Yes, he's actually a local lifter. He's from this city.
205 kilos on the bar. Another wide foot position. He's struggling
Yes.
with it. His feet are sliding,
Yeah.
I think. He just cannot lock that arm.
Watching him set up, it looked like his foot was slipping, and I thought,
It
I don't
looked
like the
that
looks
to
of
me,
that.
yeah.
205.
So, you know, if he manages to get that right, there's every reason he can get that in his next attempt. Yeah, his bum was up too, his foot slipped sideways.
And now your feet can slide, but you still got to be able to get the weight up.
Sure, the rule is that your feet can move laterally but cannot lift. Caleb Lamberth, 210. He's taken quite a conservative 5 kilo jump. This is 463 pounds. You see Johnny Graham on his feet there. Just wonder if maybe the lifter is a little bit hard of hearing.
It looks as though he may actually be wearing a hearing aid, so I would bet that that's why Johnny's above him, so he can see his hand signals and has a better opportunity of hearing and not missing his commands.
That was a nice press.
That was a very nice press.
Alexander Lancaster of Norway up next. 220. This will be a small PB.
Alexander Lancaster, Norway.
Sitting fourth in bench press, sixth overall. For anyone that's watching on YouTube, if you look to the bottom right, there's a little switch camera button and you can see the score sheet. If you're watching on Goodlift, you should be able to see the score sheet anyway. Takes the bar and then puts his bum down. I always think that you're holding the bar a lot longer if you do that.
Yeah, it's not my preference. It's not something I've ever really tried, but I've always thought that I have enough problems keeping my bum down. I don't want to take that extra risk, but it works for a lot of people, and it works for a lot of people who are really good benchers.
Well, it seems to work for Alexander. That was a good lift. He had to really fight it. So he's got that lovely high arch. I think I don't think he's really keeping his chest quite up enough.
It looks like he got a little collapsed at the bottom there, but
So
he
he
still
really
got
had
it
to
up.
fight it, but he got the lift. Loewe from Iceland, he missed this first time out. Fingers crossed he can get it on the second. $220 kilos. I think the bar dipped there. It certainly stalled.
Yeah.
Let's see what the referees think. Yeah.
Yeah.
No lift for Carl Lowe.
Yeah, blue cards, which means the bar dipped. Unfortunately, it has to travel upwards in a smooth motion. It can stall, but it cannot dip.
Rick Hagan to follow Moises.
I think he only just kept his bum down too.
Yeah, he did get 1 3 card. I wondered if it came up there. Our view looked good, but either way, the lift didn't go for him.
Vion from Ecuador. He's currently sitting in bronze medal position for bench, 2nd overall.
I only see colors when.
This will move him up to silver in bench. Musienko is unassailable, really. He's the open world record holder, so you would expect that. So really the battle here is for the silver in bench. Five kilo PB attempt. I think it's flattening him out a little bit. Oh, but he had no trouble with that press.
Obviously, he worked with that shirt, and he knows where he's hitting it and where he wants to bring it.
Oh, so that looks quite different from the side there. Yeah, he does flatten him out just a tiny bit though. Really, the weight gave him no trouble at all.
Looked really good.
That's moved him up to silver medal position for bench, silver overall. Henrik Hagen, 242 kilos, 5 kilo PB. That's a huge arch. Reduces the range of motion.
Really efficient bench press. Wow.
That was wonderful. Okay, he got 1 yellow card.
Gonna guess butt,
Red
maybe?
light. Let's see if we can see. It is moving about a little bit, isn't it?
20 kilos, ladies and gentlemen, if successful, this
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Hard for us to see. The referee had a different view than we do. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, the referee is sitting in the perfect place to see this. Our camera is secondary to the referee. It's more important. So, here we go. This is Musienko coming out for a World Open record. It's his own record. He's still going to want to kick it up the road a little bit. Current record is 3:15.5. Didn't want to just take 3:16 to chip it. Wants to smash it out of the park with 3:20. 705 pounds.
This is incredible weight for anyone, let alone a 22-year-old who weighs 92.5 kilos.
You could hear a pin drop in this auditorium. He gets the start command. Tiny range of motion. Can he lock it out? Can he lock it? He can't. Well, maybe he should have taken 3:16. But it's his second attempt. He gets another go at that.
And maybe that was their thinking, right? Maybe they really wanted 3:20, and so...
Yeah, absolutely. So you get 2 goes at it.
That's right. And some people really would rather do that, right? They don't want to do the chip and then get the 3rd attempt. They just want to go and take 2 attempts at the weight they want.
Sure. So we're round to the 3rd round of bench now. We have Kenshiro Okobo from Japan coming out for 125 kilos. And he missed his opener and he did a very, very easy 110. And he's gone up 15 kilos now to 125. So I bet this was the original plan.
I'm wondering, yeah, because even you called it. You said, you could put 20 kilos on that, right? And this is 15. So that's a that's a good jump when you think about...
I would expect him to do this.
Yeah, percentage-wise, it's a pretty big jump.
Getting lots of advice from his coach there.
He really gets up on those traps, gets himself set.
Nice touch.
Wow.
You know, I was right. He could have done 20.
You
he
were
could have
right.
done another 20.
3 white lights and a good length potential.
But that was a 10 kilo PB for him, so you think he'd be happy with that.
5 kilos Martin Marcik. Czechia, Andrei Sip to Powerlifting is loaded. 157.5 kilos. Martin Marcik, Czechia.
Martin Marcik, he missed his opener, came back and got it on his second attempt. Looking for 157.5 now. He's a long way up the bench. I hope he doesn't clip the... I think he did clip the hooks.
Oh.
I think he set up way too far up the bench, to be honest.
Which can really throw you off when, especially when it's like, you know, near your max. It can be really startling to
So if we
clip
see
it.
that, yeah,
Oh.
he was way too far up the bench.
Yeah. That's too bad. But you know what? At least he's on the board.
Yeah, and he comes up and he hits it on this side.
Loaded. 167.5 kilos, Andrei Sip.
So, sub-junior lifter Andrei Sip. 167.5 kilos. 7.5 kilo PB. He's moving around a lot on the bench there. He got the press.
Yeah, let's hope he kept his butt down. Well, gets
2
2
to
white.
1. 2 to 1 is good enough.
5 kilos, 180 next weight on the bar. Ryu Koyoneyama of Japan. Daniel Gonzalez to follow.
Oh, I think he got away with that.
I think so.
Do you know in powerlifting sometimes you get away with a little mistake, sometimes you get a harsh call. It all balances out in the end.
That's what I figured. They all go into the jar and to the piggy bank, and sometimes you get an extra coin in there, and sometimes you got to pay.
Oh, I can see the jury coming out. I have a feeling we might see that lift overturned.
That's too bad.
No, the jury are going back to their seat. I think he's keeping his lift. Okay, we have Ryuta Yoneyama on the platform for Japan. 180 kilos in his hands. Nice careful descent. And a nice press out. He got a yellow card from the centre. Not certain what that was for.
Head, maybe? When I think a 3 card from the center, I am often wondering if the head popped a bit.
Yeah, because when the head comes up, it's really hard to see as a side referee because it's obscured with the plates.
Absolutely.
And as a side referee as well, you're trying to look at the bar, the head, the shoulders, the bum, the feet. Inevitably, it's really hard to see everything.
Yeah. I say it is the hardest piece of refereeing is that
side refereeing bench. Absolutely agree with you. Here we have Daniel Gonzalez. He's sitting in first place overall, second place on bench. This will not move him up on bench.
Ease it down.
Stayed nice and patient, got the touch, rewarded with a clean press out.
That looked great. It looked hard, but it looked smooth.
He's having a good day, isn't he?
He is. That's a strong kid.
Noah Johnson, USA, Arseny Kokov to follow. Bar is loaded, 195 kilos, Noah Johnson.
Next up we have Noah Johnson. He's coming out for 195 kilos, 430 pounds. He's in 5th place overall.
Down, he's down. 3, 2, 1, finish! Take it!
Oh, he couldn't quite get the touch there. The bar was skipping around.
No lid for Noah Johnson at 195. 200 kilos is the next weight on the bar. Arseny Konkov.
Yeah.
So the bar gets close to the chest, and it loses his
Just
line,
start
doesn't
to
it?
lose it, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not going to
Drifts
save it.
forward,
Oh,
drifts
and there
back.
goes his elbows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bars loaded, 200 kilos. Arseny Konkov of Russia.
Here we go. This is Konkov, the last of our sub-juniors to bench. 200 kilos. He has already got the gold medal in bench. He's going to be looking to extend his total as much as he can.
His coach gave one last tug on the collar of that shirt to get it where it wanted.
If he gets this, he will match Gonzalez' total, but he is heavier than Gonzalez. He's weighed in bang on 93.
Right. Right.
You know, from this angle, whether he locks that out or not, he looks to be moving around, and he's not going to lock it, is he? He was moving around so much on the bench, though.
No lid, unfortunately, for Konkov at 200 kilos. Yellows all
But you know, he's still got the gold medal in bench. That's not too bad. He's in silver medal position overall. But he could have done with that 10 kilos, really, to bring the fight to Gonzalez for the overall.
Absolutely. It sure would have helped him as far as being having a little bit more comfort, because he does open his deadlift heavier, but you'd hate to see that 10 kilos come to be a big deal.
So Mayhew's only put 5 kilos on his bench. He has struggled a little bit with it.
Probably a good call when you think the fact that he missed it on his 200 on his opener, and then 200 on his second. He looked really tentative. So why push it, right? Just try and get extra kilos on your total here.
Wearing the arms on his shirt really quite low.
Right. Right.
He's locked it.
Looks good from our perspective. And they gave it to him good.
Fantastic. So that's a 40 kilo bench PB for him today.
But I do think 205 was a really good call there. I don't know that he would have had 207, hey?
No, I think you're right. I think they called it perfectly. Dylan Moldovan. He missed this for his second.
Can hear some his little fans in the crowd cheering for him. I think it's one of his teammates' kids that we can hear.
Right.
Nice touch. Oh, I can see his feet slipping again, but he got the press, I think.
Blue, silver.
Oh, let's see that from the side. Certainly I could see his feet slipping around. The blue card from the middle suggests downward movement of the bar, but the yellow card from the sides. Oh, there we go. Bum came up.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering why it goes quiet, we just want to give Caleb the best opportunity to hear the commands of the bar.
So here's Caleb Lambert, 217.5. That's 480 pounds.
Caleb Lambert, USA.
This is Caleb's last year as a junior. Sitting in 5th place on bench, 6th overall.
Right. Right.
Oh, I think just a little bit too heavy.
Silver off, black on. Silver off.
That happens. That's in powerlifting. You get that. You want to get that nice, easy opener, and then kind of push that second, maybe around something you've done in the gym, maybe in competition, maybe not. That third is where you say, let's give her, let's get those PRs, right?
The first one for your team, the second one for your coach, the third one's yours.
I like that.
Right.
Here we go. Nueve from Iceland has not got a bench on the board yet. This is not a great place to be. He's got 4 years lifting experience. This probably isn't the first time he's been in this position as an equipped lifter. I think everyone's been there.
Don't jinx me.
I've been there as a raw lifter, to be fair. So here we go. Let's hope he can just get everything right this time out.
Maybe things have just been tweaked just perfect and we can nail this one.
He's got the touch. I hope he didn't jump that command. He's locked it out.
I was thinking the same thing. I hope that command wasn't jumped.
He certainly went on the P of the press. He's got it. Fantastic. Absolutely superb. Everyone's on the board. No one wants to see a bomber. But he really did go on the P of the press there.
Yeah, and by the skin of his teeth, man. Whew. He did not have a hair between him and that bench.
No. So here we have Alexander Lancaster out next, 225. This will be a 7.5 kilo PB. That little beep signifying 30 seconds to go. That's plenty of time to do your bench press. Oh no, he's lost that. Oh, I'm wrong.
Whoa.
Wow, it looked like the bar had drifted right down when he got the touch.
Yeah, and he just, you know, and
he's laughing to himself there. I wonder if he made a small mistake at the bottom, but he muscled it up anyway. Let's just watch that again. So it comes down.
Oh, yeah.
And I really thought he dropped that completely at the bottom.
It looks like it,
but he got the lift.
And
Fantastic.
you know, maybe he was able to kick it back into that groove of that shirt just enough that could press it out.
So we have Vion from Ecuador. He's sitting 2nd place overall and 3rd place in bench. This will take the bench press silver for the moment. 250 kilos, 550 pounds.
He's already PR'd his bench on his last one.
He has. Wow.
This will be a big PR.
15 kilos, wow.
That's some nice patience.
Very nice. Very impressive. You know, he competed raw at the World Championships in Sweden. That's and he was the bronze place lifter in last year's World Championships.
So he's maybe fighting hard to improve that placement this year.
I think he's got every chance.
He's sitting really nice position here.
Going to be tight with the Norwegian lifter though.
Absolutely.
And the Norwegian lifter, Hagen, is out on the platform now looking to snatch that silver medal away.
Yeah, nobody's giving it away, that's for sure.
Yeah. So this will move him up 1 place in bench. He's absolutely assured of the bronze medal.
Oh, he has such a nice bench range of motion, keeps that chest so high.
He got it 2-1. You know, I think he lost it just a tiny bit at the bottom because when he got the press command, he just took an extra moment to get himself together.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of shifted him out of position there, even from the side, hey?
So I've done exactly the same thing. I thought, oh, I'm a little bit out of position, got the press command, and just taking a moment to get myself back together to drive that up. So that gave him the silver in bench. Now, Musienko, 320 kilos for a World Open, not just junior, a World Open bench record.
And then he was so close the last time, just missed it at lockout.
He really was. His PR is 3:18. The world record is his own world record at 3:15.5.
Лопаточки. Полные руки прими. Держи еще, да?
Good.
Через верх. Дальше, дальше, держи.
Gets the touch. Oh, look at that. That was absolutely super.
Whatever went wrong last time, he cleaned it up.
3 white lights. He's giving
Nice.
fist bumps to the spotters. That was absolutely brilliant. 320 kilos from a 93 kilo junior lifter and an open world record. We're going to take a 20-minute break and we will be back for deadlift.
Owner of one of the finest mustaches in powerlifting.
Welcome back to the 2019 IPF Sub-Junior and Junior World Powerlifting Championships. We're here in Regina, Canada. We've seen some incredible squatting and benching. We just saw Musienko bench press 320 kilos for a new open world record. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. But the party's about to start. The bar has hit the floor, and we have Kenshiro Okubo coming out for 220 kilos.
220 kilos, Kenshiro Okubo of Japan. They have Bogo to get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, we're into the deadlifts.
Kenshiro is in the sub-junior category. We have sub-juniors, i.e. lifters up to 18 years old, along with the juniors up to 23 years old, all in the same flight. They're all 93 kilo lifters, i.e. they've weighed in somewhere between 83 and 93. Okubo is very light in his class. He's weighed in 86 kilos today. He's only 17 years old with only 1 year's lifting experience.
Go!
Well, you'd never know it from that lift. I would say he needs to keep his hands on the bar as it goes back to the platform, though.
It looked like a good lift, though. I mean, he definitely takes you by surprise with the way he turns his feet in there real quick and kind of lets the bar just go. Yeah.
So you can get a red light if the referees think you have not returned the bar to the platform under control. Mihal Bogle, Canadian lifter. He's had an okay day, hasn't he? He's not had a terrible day.
Yeah,
He's missed a couple of lifts here and there.
Yeah, I think his squats went really well. His bench, remember, was a huge PR, even though
Yeah.
I think he only went one for three.
That's true, actually, but he's still got a 40 kilo PB. Oh, that was very easy.
Did he get the down command?
I hope so. Maybe he didn't.
I think he fell
Maybe
over.
He didn't.
Yeah.
Ah.
Couldn't quite hear.
Oh, he was falling backwards, wasn't he? It's obvious from the side. But I think he surprised himself with how fast it was off the floor.
And sometimes that happens, right? You get that little bit of extra pop, and you kind of have to catch it.
Here's Ryuto Yoniyama, 225.
Down!
That looked like a nice lift.
3 white lights and a good lift for Yoniyama at 225. Next weight on the bar.
So deadlift, in equipped lifting, deadlift is the lift where you don't get as much out of the equipment.
Definitely. I think that, you just, I mean, because you don't have the first part of the movement, right? You're starting the lift from a dead stop.
Sure.
You just can't generate as much out of a suit. So you're going to get a little bit off the floor. But if it's not in a good position, it actually will sometimes almost hinder you because it pushes you forward.
Yeah.
Go!
That's a good lift for local guy, Dylan Moldovan.
3 white lights and a good lift.
230 kilos.
For Dylan, Martin Bassett, 230 kilos. Next weight on the bar. Under sit. To follow both lifters from
We see in equipped lifting, we see most lifters pull sumo with the feet outside the hands rather than conventional with the feet inside the hands. And that's to maximise how much pop you can get out of the suit.
Yeah, you definitely will feel it more in the hips when you can load those hips a bit better.
Martin Marsik now for Czechia. Looking for 240 kilos. Quite a tall lifter, quite long-limbed, so that bar has to move a fair way.
Really nice deadlift.
Yeah.
3 white lights and a good lift.
Absolutely no drama there.
Same weight remains to the bar. 240 kilos.
We have somebody in our gym who's just learning. She's going to be competing in her first equipped meet next week, and the first time she deadlifted in a suit, she's like, I don't know how to get to the bar. It can be tough. The suits will, they will inhibit you. So it's even though you get a little bit less out of it,
sure.
It's not as technical to learn it. There's still a learning curve to lifting in even a deadlift suit.
So we are actually seeing a conventional lifter. Only a second conventional puller of the competition.
And I think he's pulling in an old Inzer backwards. We've seen that a few times where deadlifters will pull in a squat suit that's put on backwards.
Alexander Lancaster up next, coming out for 250 kilos.
Bars ready.
Bars loaded, 250 kilos, Alexander Lancaster, Norway.
He pulled 257.5 at the Euros earlier this year. One of our most experienced lifters on the platform today, 7 years lifting experience.
Down.
And that was a fine looking deadlift.
Three white lights and a good
great.
leg. Alexander Lancaster of Norway, 250 kilos, 255.
Looked like a really solid, easy opener, you know, the way they should look. Move.
That's what you want, isn't it? You want to get a bit of confidence, get on the board. Daniel Gonzalez, he's been very impressive today.
Bars ready.
Bar loaded, 255 kilos, Daniel Gonzalez.
Yeah, and you think about how
USA.
well he's done, and he's you know, got loads of experience, but only really been competing for 1 year. I think you said he's still got quite a handful of meets under his
I
belt.
was just
if I
checking him
remember.
out on Open Powerlifting, and it seems like he's done a lot of competitions with the Texas High School program. That looked like a nice lift.
And a good lift for Daniel Gonzalez at 255, 265. Next weight on the bar. Caleb Lambert of the USA, Carl Loeb to follow.
So we have the other American in class. I'm sorry, Caleb Lambert is the junior lifter. Gonzalez was the sub-junior. Lambert is the junior lifter from the United States. 265 kilos on the bar, 584 pounds.
Bars ready.
Bar loaded, 265 kilos, Caleb Lambert, USA.
Down.
Sits in, initiates the pull.
Look textbook, hey?
Yeah.
Three white lights and a good lift. At 265 for Caleb
Well, you know, when
Lambert.
everyone's having the best day, there's very little drama going on.
Iceland.
Everyone's making their pulls look very easy. Now here's a man who had a little bit of drama earlier in the competition. Made a bench press on his third attempt.
Let's hope he can make deadlifts a little less
Yeah.
exciting for us.
Well, he's opening 10 kilos below his PB. Well, you know, it didn't look super easy.
No, but he made it look smooth. It was
Yeah,
a nice
definitely
steady
went,
speed. Yeah.
265 for Carl Lowe. 270 next weight on the bar.
Doesn't hang about at the bottom too long. Gets his position and pulls.
Bars ready.
Bars loaded.
Here we have
270
Musienko.
kilos, Kostiantin Musienko,
Absolutely dominant in
Ukraine.
squat and bench. Looks like he's got a bit of competition for the deadlift medals.
He's almost got the numbers of the supers where he's benching more than he's deadlifting.
Sure. Very nice. Very experienced.
Three whites
And looks
a
like
good
he's got
lift,
lots of
Kostiantin.
room to play.
Yes.
270 kilos. Bar is loaded at 270 for Moises Vidal, Ecuador.
Yeah, that was absolutely nothing wrong with that. That was a lovely deadlift.
I mean, he's far enough ahead that he probably isn't going to have to worry too much about defending that first place position for total. But it looks like he's got lots of room if he had to.
Sure, he's already got a 960 total. The world record is 980, and he's I've just seen him put 292.5 in,
Yes.
so he's going to take the world record with his second deadlift. So here's Vion. from Ecuador. $270 kilos on the bar. Very nice.
Wow.
He's a real contender for second place.
Deadlifts looked as fast as those benches. His benches stayed nice position and fast presses.
I think he's a very technically proficient lifter. He was third last year at this competition, so he's going to be fighting hard for second. Musienko is, let's be fair, Musienko's a long way up the road. I don't think anyone's got any chance at all of catching him. So the battle now is for the other places on the podium.
And there looks like there's going to be a good fight for second and third there, hey?
So here's the guy that's going to take the fight to Vion. This is Henrik Hagen from Norway.
Down.
That looked good. Whoa!
Oh, just check he's okay, folks. That was a bit of a dive.
I always like it when they still get the white lights.
The lift was
Yeah,
good.
well, the lift was good. He certainly got the bar back down. I wondered if, just as we see him get to the top, he had a little moment of overbalance, and as he put the bar down, he went over backwards.
Okay, get him out of here and get him sorted.
Oh, I'm not quite sure what he's done, but he is off the platform now.
I'm hoping he's all right, but he did have to get carried off. I don't know if the camera was on that, but
Okay, we have Konkov up next for 275. He is the last of our sub-juniors to come out to deadlift, and he's deadlifting opening higher than most of the juniors. So he's chosen to wear knee sleeves on the deadlift. I always think that's a mixed blessing. You can catch on the bottom of the sleeve, but it does then smooth the path over the knee.
Go.
Well, not super fast, but certainly very smooth.
looked like he just had sort of got that, you know, that sort of classic get to the knees, lock the knees, then pull back into the hips, right?
It's that little transition point. It's quite often the lifters overbalance and you get a little dip of the bar, but there was nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that pull.
As a ref, sometimes I find it difficult to really judge the knees in the deadlift when they're wearing knee sleeves, but he doesn't make it, you don't question it with him. He really locks his knees. It's very obvious.
So last of our 93 kilo lifters to take their first deadlift, we have Noah Johnson.
It's a big deadlift for an opener.
Last year's sub-junior 83 kilo world champion. 295 kilos on the bar, 650 pounds. And he made that look easy. Wow. Wow, that was very impressive. I'm excited to see what he's going to put in for his next attempt there.
That is incredible.
So we are now round to the second round of deadlifts.
232.
Ryota Yoneyama from Japan. 232 and a half.
We only have one lifter without a total so far, and out of 15 lifters, you know, knock wood that we get a total on Mehar here, but that would mean 15 lifters and no bombs.
Fantastic.
That
Mehar,
is,
to be fair, I think the pull was so easy, it just overbalanced a little bit.
Right.
I see no reason why he won't get this on his. In fact, he's gone up 10 kilos.
absolutely.
But
that's incredible to have this many lifters.
Sure.
Right? Especially
Junior lifters as well.
Right, 15 equipped lifters. That is great.
Yoneyama.
Go!
Yeah, just leans, gets his shoulders back at the top there for a very nice deadlift. Gets to the top and just brings his shoulders back for the lockout. And here's Mehar. He looked very strong on his first pull. Just a little bit of a balance issue.
And like you said, the weight wasn't the problem, so they've obviously just gone up the 10 kilos, maybe so that it doesn't come up so fast on him.
Sure. This will move him up about 4 places in deadlift. Getting lots of advice from the crowd there. I was just hoping he was going to fasten his belt up there. Yes, there we go.
Maybe having a little conversation with the bar there about how we're going to make this happen.
Very easy.
Much better, hey?
They were well justified in going up 10
Yeah,
kilos.
absolutely.
Even though they missed.
Yeah. So definitely a good coaching call on that one, hey? Don't lose the kilos.
So there we go. He is on the board. And as you say, no bombers.
Bar is loaded. Kenshiro Okubo.
The sub-junior Japanese lifter, Okubo. Coming out for 235. He's gone up 15 kilos. That's quite a big jump. Taking his time to set up perfectly. Hips rose a little early, but he handled the weight very well.
3 white lights and a good win for Kenshiro Okubo. 235, 240 next weight on the bar. Dylan Moldovan of Canada. Martin Marsick to follow at 250.
We have the other Canadian lifter up next, Dylan Moldovan. 240 kilos on the bar, 530 pounds.
And again, well below his personal best, so I think maybe we are correct in assuming that he's recovering from something.
Yeah, he came out and only did 1 squat and didn't use knee wraps for it, so that's the assumption we're making.
Down.
3 white lights.
I wondered if they were gonna. I wondered
Yeah,
about that
me
one
too.
knee.
Well, for me, the left shoulder didn't really look that far back.
Yeah.
Lockout looks okay actually on the side view.
Also with 250 kilos will follow.
These are minor things, but this is the highest standard of powerlifting in the world. You have to get it absolutely perfect. Marsick, Czechia, 250 kilos.
Go!
That was a nice pull.
Looked very good. Didn't look easy, but looked like it was just nice, slow and steady.
250 kilos, 250 remains on the bar for Andrej Sip, Czechia.
And then we have the sub-junior lifter from Czechia.
Andrej Sip, Czechia.
Andrej Sip.
250 kilos.
Just below his PB now. He is sitting in overall 3rd place in deadlift 2. Only conventional puller in this group.
Down.
3 white lights and a good
That's
lift
a good
for Andrej
lift.
Sip at 250 kilos. Alexander Lancaster next up, Norwegian lifter with 260 kilos on the bar. Daniel Gonzalez to follow.
Alexander Lancaster. He's gone up 10 kilos. Looking for 260.
Bars loaded, 260 kilos, Alexander Lancaster, Norway.
Down.
Nothing wrong with that. Nice second lift. Gives himself somewhere to go for his third.
Lancaster at 260, 265 is the next weight on the bar. For Daniel Gonzalez. Carl Loeb to follow.
Next up we have Daniel Gonzalez in the sub-juniors. Looking for 265, he's placed second overall.
265 kilos, Daniel Gonzalez.
You know, I think he's got the opportunity to challenge for the world title here.
He definitely looks like it if he's got some extra room in this deadlift to play with, and that opener looked really good.
It did, so I think it's all to play for here. 265 kilos, 584 pounds. Being coached by Zach Cooper from the sidelines there.
Who I'm sure has already done the math.
Oh, I'm sure he has. Very experienced coach. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
That's super easy.
Holy.
We're going to see some deadlift battles here today. Absolutely skipped off the platform there.
What an easy second pull for him.
Caleb Lambert to follow Carl.
Okay, we have Carl Loevi now from Iceland.
Looking
for a small PB, 277.5.
of Iceland.
This will move him up to second place in deadlift. Looking at the prognosis, the lifters are spread out a little bit. There's a bit of a battle going on for second and third in the juniors. Oh no, that's really... You know, I wonder if he grabbed the bar in the wrong place
Yeah,
there.
it looked a little bit wobbly, hey? Almost windmilly up.
Yeah, it was the bar was much lower on the right-hand side than the left.
But like we've said before, there's no points for style, and so he's still got it locked out.
Just makes it that much harder when it's tipped over a little bit. Caleb Lambert up next. 282.5 kilos, 623 pounds. Anything wrong with that?
That was very nice.
12.5 kilos. 17.5 kilos up from his opener there. I think he's got a fair bit left in the tank. Konkov up next. He is the current European junior champion. Excuse me, sub-junior champion.
He's going to be trying to stay far enough ahead here of Gonzalez so that he can pull that easy, a good third there and
yeah, well, if you're
defend.
a big deadlifter, you always have all the power because you get to watch what the other lifter did and then decide what you're going to do.
Exactly. But he's going to have to pull this one.
Yep. Oh, and it's tough. It was tough to get it moving. Now, typically, sumo is tough to break from the floor.
Absolutely. And the error is that you rush a bit. So you need to be patient off the floor, not
and
rush.
Was, yeah.
And he was very, very patient off the floor, yeah.
So that gives him a bit of an advantage. He's really going to have to defend hard, though, against the American lifter.
Because Gonzalez has, I think, a lot left in the tank.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Fillon, Ecuador, 285 kilos. He's well placed for silver medal overall. Yeah, it was heavy. He had to work for it, but all his lifts have been technically just brilliant.
He's a really good lifter. And yeah, he's really protecting that second place.
Here comes Henrik Hagen. He's looking fine, to be honest.
Johnson in the hole.
And maybe it was just a cramp and he just couldn't get it loosened up before he got off the platform, and he's all right.
Oh, no. Grip went. What a shame. What a shame. I think that might have cost him the opportunity to challenge for overall second.
Yeah.
Just saw his grip go there.
Well, we'll see what they put in for thirds. You
Sure.
never know. They might still go for it anyway. Because, again, if he's sitting solid as a bronze, then you might as well take a run at second.
Absolutely, and he's not challenged by fourth place man there, so everything's played for. And here we have the absolutely dominant Musienko. He is looking to break the World Junior total record with his second pull. The world record is 980. This will give him 982.5.
Did we say this is his last year as a junior, or he's got one more?
I'm not sure. He's 22, so it depends when his birthday is. If his
Yeah.
birthday's this year, then this is his last year. But if his birthday's early next year, he's got
He might
another
be
year
okay,
to run
yeah.
at it. Yeah.
Because it's like he's just pushing these records up, make them, you know, make these new up-and-comers really work hard to take these
Absolutely.
records from him.
Here we go. Oh, he's struggling to lock it, but he's done it. Oh, I wonder if his right knee was a little bit soft there.
I thought his grip was so close to going.
2-1. A new junior total record for Musienko.
If he had to hang on to that bar for another 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, and I think when your grip's going, it's hard to produce force. Your body kind of shuts down and says, no, I haven't got a good grip on that. I'm letting go. Wow, so we have Noah Johnson now coming out for 310 kilos. Look how relaxed he looks. Chatting with the coach there, he's going, yeah, I've got it. Yeah, no problem. Saunters
A
out.
casual saunter to the platform for 310 kilos.
This is a 5 kilo PB for him. And he is already, he's still in gold medal position in deadlift. This will move it further on.
Wow.
So easy. That was so comfortable.
What a nice deadlift.
Good lift, man. And we now move into round 3.
Just watching that again.
The first weight on the bar is
Form doesn't break down at all.
Beauty.
It's
Shoulders.
absolutely
Chest.
textbook pull.
Yes, he stays in perfect position.
of Japan.
And do you know what? That's moved him up to 4th. He might even challenge for 3rd.
And you know what? He may have the deadlift to do it.
He may, because he's Hagen failed his second deadlift.
Yeah.
So he may have lost his chance at the overall bronze there. Wow. Okay, so we are into the 3rd round of deadlifts. This is where world champions are made. Dylan Moldovan, hometown boy, 245 kilos. I struggled to lock out there. It wasn't super convincing for me, but the referees were happy.
Pulled it in enough, I guess.
And no one has to satisfy me. If they satisfy 3 IPF referees, then the lift was good.
That's right. Really doesn't matter what we think back here, does it?
Next up, Yoneyama
250 kilos, Yoneyama.
for a 10 kilo PB attempt. And it's going. What do the
I wonder
referees
if he
think?
saved it. Yeah.
3 white lights, a 10 kilo PB on the world stage.
It's like he got it a little bit out in front there, locked those knees, and was too far forward.
Yes.
But he still
fought
pulled it in.
back. Very nice.
Okay,
same weight for Akobu.
of Japan.
The next Japanese lifter in the sub-junior category. This is for the bronze deadlift medal. Wow. First year competing, 17 years old, and he's pulling for a medal.
It's not too shabby, hey?
Here we go. Oh, he just...
Oh. Is he okay?
Yeah, the spot has caught him. Not sure whether he
Obviously that is no length, but he is
blacked out a
okay.
tiny bit just for a second.
So no length,
Pulling so
no length.
hard, lost his balance, and oh, his grip
Yeah,
went, didn't he?
I think his grip
So he-
went and
He's
Yeah.
banged off.
yeah, you had a lot of tension built
Yeah.
up and it had nowhere to go.
Okay, so that was worth a try. It's always worth to try. Nothing was at risk there to try and pull for the medal. But here's Andre Sip. He is in bronze medal position. This will not move him up. So I think the rankings are pretty much set now, both for deadlift and for overall in the sub-juniors.
Well, 1-2, we got Konkov and Gonzalez there, who I think they've put in a placeholder for our Russian, and they're going to wait and see what Gonzalez looks like.
Quite right, actually.
Yeah.
The deadlift positions I don't think will move, but yeah, we might see a bit of an upset for the overall. That doesn't look like it's going to go, does it? Just a little bit too heavy, I think. But you know, he didn't leave much behind there. Pulled 250, fell 255.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? And sometimes all it takes is that last 5 kilos. It goes from being moving pretty good to holy smokes, that's an extra truck.
Now this is an interesting position. Marsic took a 10 kilo jump between first and second, and now he's gone for a 15 kilo jump, which is unusual.
I wonder if it's a personal goal maybe, or he's already got a PR total, I think. So
He's got a PB on his deadlift as well. 20 kilos on his total.
Down.
Well, he's very happy. Thinks he's got it. What do the referees think?
nice.
3 white lights.
Yeah, you don't see very often you take a bigger jump from 2 to
No,
3 than
I
you do
wonder
from 1 to
whether
2.
first the opener felt a little bit difficult, so they gave him a second flew, so they thought we'll put it on.
Yeah.
We have the wrong graphic up here. We have, this is Mehar on the platform. There we go. Mehar Bogal from Canada. 265. He's taking a 30 kilo jump there.
Yeah.
That'll move him up several places on deadlift. Oh no.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too ambitious there today. You know, he was thinking, I got 30 kilos on my bench.
heck?
I'll take a new.
That's right.
He's not
Yeah.
It's not a best day. He's not had a terrible day.
Exactly.
He's done okay.
And he's, you know, he PR'd his total, and
Sure.
so yeah.
So Alexander Lancaster next for Norway. Very experienced lifter, coming out for 270 kilos.
Well above his deadlift PR as well.
Yeah, wow. He's already got a PB. Wants to push it 10 kilos up the road.
His last one looked a little slow, but smooth, a steady speed.
Yeah, I think technically very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just not
Yeah.
going to go, is it?
I think even if he'd saved it, I think he had a little bit of downward there where he bobbled just above his knees.
So here we go. We have the sub-junior battle coming up next.
Carl Lowe to follow. Daniel
Gonzalez. 280 kilos, 617 pounds.
I'm going to guess that we have a Russian coach watching real close with a change card ready to go.
Absolutely. This will take the overall title. Oh, he had a really fierce looking ear nip there from his coach.
Ah.
That would make anyone mad. Here we go, pulling for the world title. He's taken a 15 kilo jump. This is a 5 kilo PB. Oh, look it, he's got it,
Based on that second pull, I had no doubt he was going to do that.
Look at
That is awesome.
He's done what he needed to do.
That's right.
Then it's all on the Russian. Can the Russian pull it back?
And there's that Russian coach we were expecting to see pop outside the curtain.
Of course. He put his placeholder in and just waited to see what Gonzalez did, and he's going to put an attempt in that is just enough to beat him.
285 kilos for Karl Loeb of Iceland.
Here we go for Karl Loeve for Iceland, 285 kilos. This will move him up a place in deadlift and give him a 10 kilo PB. Oh, hips have come up a bit, just a bit too heavy there.
Not today, I'm afraid. A little too heavy for Karl. At 285, same weight remains on the bar for Henrik Hagen. 285 kilos. Arseniy Konkov to follow.
Henrik Hagen up next. He failed 285 on his second. He's going to have another crack at it. He needs this to defend against Johnson.
Henrik Hagen of Norway.
If he gets this, he's pretty much short of third overall, I think. Oh, he hasn't got it. Now he's going to have a nervous few minutes.
Waiting to see
what the American lifter does.
5 kilos is the next weight on the bar. This is Arseniy Konkov of Russia. Moises Bior of Ecuador.
So Noah is lighter.
Yep.
So he only has to match the total.
So he's the number he's got in there is the number that they've put in.
This will put Konkov into the lead.
So, but first we have the battle for the sub-junior world title.
Champion. The bar is loaded.
So Gonzalez is probably just sitting there, just staring at the feet in the back.
Yep.
But he's done what he had to do.
I bet him and his coach are clutching each other watching the camera. So the Russian coach has asked for the bar to be cleaned.
We are just having the bar cleaned.
She wants to make extra sure. The bar is clean between each lift in the third round anyway.
When you're shooting for a world championship, you want everything perfect. The bar is loaded.
Here we go. Is it the American? Is it the Russian? It's all down to this one pull.
World title deadlift, ladies and gentlemen.
He's fired up. Big slap on the traps there.
He wants it.
Fierce roar as he comes out. Let's hope that he manages to control that aggression, channel it all into the right place. World title on the line.
Takes his time getting set.
He's got it moving, but he can't lock it out. It's Gonzalez. Daniel Gonzalez is your new sub-junior 93 kilo world champion.
I wonder if he just rushed to his knees a bit. It's like he got almost there, locked his
And
knees.
he was just forward, wasn't he?
Yep. A little bit of too much adrenaline will do that.
Overall silver and deadlift silver.
Wow. So Konkov kept the deadlift gold, but he had to concede the overall.
The bar is loaded, 295 kilos.
So this is second place man. Vion, he is third in deadlift currently, second overall.
And he's pretty well settled in second here.
Yeah, I think he's got the second place on the overall podium. He's going to want a silver in deadlift as well.
He's really put together an excellent day.
Has he missed a lift?
Maybe in squat, but I don't think he did in bench.
No.
And
he's had a great day. Such a technically proficient lifter.
Yeah, his benches were just fantastic.
And can he bring that back?
Oh.
Not quite.
Did we jinx him?
Oh, maybe. So he's currently got the bronze in deadlift. As you say, pretty unassailable in second place
This will get him provisional
overall,
deadlift silver should he
but we
pull
have
it.
some drama to come.
Musienko to follow.
Yeah, it would be,
Do
the
you know,
American.
he was so close to locking that out. That was such a shame.
Yeah, the American's still behind him by another 20 kilos. It would be such a risky move. You'd give up the bronze. I don't think they're going to do it to try and get second.
So this is for the deadlift silver. 297.5 kilos, 656 pounds. It's moving, but it's tough. Oh, he's locked it. He's done it. Fantastic.
Nice patient pull.
Yeah, that looks.
And they gave it to
Three-way
him.
light.
Nice.
And he is in silver medal position in the deadlift.
That was excellent.
Wow, it was so hard to break for the floor, so slow to the knees.
Just
But he got it moving and he whipped it to lock out.
nice
Brilliant.
patient pull. Just stick with it. Keep that position.
So, we have 2 pulls left. Musienko up next.
I'm assuming this is a world junior total record.
This is for the 1,000 kilo total.
Oh, man.
He's pulling for 1,000 kilos.
Ukraine.
I can only imagine how much he wants this.
This will take the, he's got the gold medal, he's got the world title. This will take the silver in deadlift and give him 1,000 kilos.
It's a pretty significant landmark.
Come on, Bastian. Come on.
Looks up, composes himself. He's going to have been thinking about this number for weeks. Big breath, drops his hips in, and it's moving.
Oh,
No.
not today, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Give a round
Oh,
of
it looks
applause.
like he ripped a callus. What a shame.
One
Grip went for him.
remains.
So he's got the bronze medal in deadlift. He is world champion again, 3rd year running. He took the open world record in bench.
And the fact that you can still, within reason, load a 3rd attempt to even look at a
Yeah.
1,000 kilo total,
Absolutely.
that's pretty incredible.
22 pounds
So,
on the bar.
now we have Noah Johnson. He has the gold in deadlift. He's coming out for the overall bronze. The Norwegians are going to be biting their nails out back because his deadlifts have been so good, so easy.
He has
You
a-
wouldn't want to bet against him.
Oh gosh, I wouldn't. No, he's got a beautiful deadlift. If he hangs the form, he's got lots left from that 2nd attempt.
Overall bronze on the line. It's moving. He's not going to do it. Well, you know what? He's got the gold in deadlift. It was worth a try. It was a
Absolutely.
good effort. Just watching that back again, he got it moving off the floor,
And his
but
one,
it was not going to go to
yeah,
lockout.
his hand. I don't know if he lost it and then his hand gave, or his hand gave and he lost it. Either way, I still wouldn't have bet against him.
Thank you so much for joining me in this session, Chantel Such. Stay tuned for the medal ceremony, and we are back at 5 for the 63 and 72 kilo women.
and gentlemen, the medals today will be presented by IPF General Secretary Dr. Robert Keller, and we have a special guest, Jessie Kinder, who's the Manager of Sponsorship and Corporate Services with the Regina Hotel Association. Give them a round of applause, please. First of all, we will present the medals of participation to each lifter. We will then present medals for each lift and the overall to the sub-juniors and the juniors. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so first of all we will present the medals for squat for the sub-juniors. And this was really close. In bronze medal position with 290 kilos from Russia, Arseny Konkov. In silver medal position, also with 290 kilos from Czechia, Ondřej Sip. And the gold medal on squats with 307.5 goes to Daniel Gonzalez of the USA. Well done, gentlemen. And we now move to bench press. In bronze medal position with 167.5 kilos from Czechia, Ondřej Sip. The silver medal with 182.5 kilos from the USA, Daniel Gonzalez. And in gold medal position on the bench press with 190 kilos from Russia, Arseny Konkov. Well done again, gentlemen. And thank you. We now move to deadlifts. In bronze medal position with 250 kilos from Czechia, Ondřej Sip. In silver medal position with 280 kilos from the USA, Daniel Gonzalez. And the gold medal, just 2.5 kilos ahead with 282.5 kilos from Russia, Arseny Konkov. Well done, gentlemen. We now move to the total. And in bronze medal position with 707.5 kilos from Czechia, Ondřej Sip. In silver medal position with 762.5 kilos from Russia, Arseny Konkov. And with 770 kilos, your new world champion, 93 kilo sub-juniors from the USA, it is Daniel Gonzalez! Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of the United States of America. Thank you, gentlemen. And we will now announce the results for the 93 kilo juniors. Squat first. In bronze medal position with 345 kilos from Ecuador, Moises Villon. In silver medal position with 347.5 kilos from the USA, Noah Johnson. And in gold medal position on the squat with 370 kilos from Ukraine, Kostiantin Musienko. Well done, gentlemen. Fantastic competition. We now move to the bench press. And in bronze medal position with 250 kilos from Ecuador, Moises Villon. In silver medal position with 252.5 kilos from Norway, Henrik Hagen. And in gold medal position with a massive 320 kilos from Ukraine, Kostiantin Musienko. Well done, gentlemen. We now move to the deadlifts. In bronze medal position with 292.5 kilos from Ukraine, Kostiantin Musienko. In silver medal position with 297.5 kilos from the USA, Caleb Lambert. And the gold medal on deadlift with 310 kilos from the USA, Noah Johnson. Well done, gentlemen. And we now move to the moment you've all been waiting for, the overall totals in 93 kilo juniors. In bronze medal position, with 860 kilos from Norway, Henrik Hagen. In silver medal position with 880 kilos from Ecuador, Moises Villon. and quite a long way in the lead. With 982.5 kilos, your new world champion from Ukraine, Konstantin Musienko. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Ukraine. Well done, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving these gentlemen a round of applause as they follow Mr. Ishimoto off the platform.